In this tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to make and run a Forge 1.19 server so your friends could finally join and you can play modern Minecraft together. Let's get started. Step number one before we download anything is to create a folder in our desktop or whatever you want to create the folder. I'm going to create it in the desktop so you guys can follow along. I just create a folder. Let's go ahead and name this modded server, just like this. 1.19 so we know what we're doing. There we go. So now that we have a folder, we could go ahead and click on the first link in the description of this video, which will bring you over here, which is our written guide on how to download Forge 1.19. You could go ahead and search through the pages on how to download it, but it's pretty straightforward. Anyways, once you're over here, go ahead and click on this button. Once we click on this blue button right here, that is going to bring us to the Forge download website where we're going to click installer, and that is going to start the download for 1.19. Make sure you have 1.19 selected. If 1.19 is not selected automatically, you can search for it on the left. As you can see, we have all the versions in here. Anyways, once we find 1.19, we're going to click installer. Once you click on the installer, it's going to bring you over here to this website where we're not going to click anything. Just wait 5 seconds, okay? Don't click anything. It says the download is ready. It's not. Just click on this skip button right here on the top right, and once you click on that, the download will start immediately. We're going to minimize this. We're going to drop this Forge file into the desktop, okay? You could drop it into the folder that we downloaded earlier. I don't recommend that you drop it in there, and you will see why in a moment. But anyways, let's go ahead and drop that. Okay, now we need to install the Forge. Let me go ahead and close this website. You could close the ad focus already, and you could close the first link on how to download Forge. Right now, we need to install Forge, but here's the thing. Forge 1.19 requires that you have the latest version of Java installed on your computer, and for most of you, that's not the case. For most of you, you have either Java 8 or Java 17 or Java 7, and we need Java 18 installed. So how do you download and install Java 18? Go ahead and click on that second link in the description, which will bring you to our written tutorial. Feel free to go through the pages and see it step by step for those of you that like to read. Anyways, once you're here, you're going to click on download Java here, right here, big red button. Go ahead and click on that, and that is going to launch the Java download website, where it's pretty straightforward. We're going to find Java 18. Go ahead and click on Java 18, and then we're going to find our operating system. For many of us, it's Windows, and for this tutorial, I'm going to use Windows. So anyways, go ahead and select Windows, and in here, you're going to select the x64 installer. Make sure you select the x64 installer. You don't want to download something else. Go ahead and click on this blue link right here, and that should immediately start the download for Java 18 or for Java 18, the installer, right? We're downloading the installer for Java 18. Let's go ahead and minimize this or make it smaller because we're going to drop this file into the desktop. Let's go ahead and drop that. Now, we need to install Java 18 in order to install Forge, but here's the thing. Many of you won't have this little copy in here, or when you try to run the installation or the installer for Java 18, it won't work. That is because you need to run a jarfix. So go ahead and close this website as well, and click on the third link in the description, which will bring you over here to this website on how to download and run a jarfix. Again, a written tutorial. If you want to read through that, go for it. But in here, what we need to do is click on download jarfix right here, and that is going to take us to this website. Okay, it's going to land you right here looking like this. You're going to click on jarfix.exe, this little button right here. You see it? Okay, do not click on this big one. Click on this little one. Go ahead and click on that, and that is going to immediately start the download automatically on the bottom left, as you can see. And let's go ahead and drop that into the desktop. And now we could close all these websites, right? We're finally done using the internet. Anyways, now we need to install Java 18. However, before you install Java 18, go ahead and type search and type add or remove programs right here in search bar. That is going to bring you to all your programs installed on your computer. And in the search list, you're going to type Java. Let's go ahead and type Java, and we're going to see what Java we have. If we have Java 8, Java 7, or Java 17, it won't work properly with Forge 1.19. If you have Java 18, I guess you don't have to install Java 18, but for many of you, that won't be the case. Anyways, once we have our Java versions and we got rid of any older Java versions, we're ready to install the newest one. So first, go ahead and run the jarfix by double clicking on it. Once you double click on the jarfix, this is what's going to come up. Well, first it's going to prompt you with the administrator's permission. Go ahead and allow it, and then this is what's going to come up, meaning that your jarfix runs successfully. Go ahead and click on OK, and now you can delete the jarfix, and now we're going to start the installation for Java 18. Go ahead and double click on Java. So once you double click on the JDK 18 Windows installer, something is going to come up. In my case, it's saying that it's already installed on my computer. Would you like to reinstall it? I'm going to click yes, but for many of you, it's just going to bring you directly to the installation menu, which I'm going to show you how to do right now, how to install it. If you want to read it, if you prefer reading, remember we have that link in the description. Anyways, once in here, you're going to click next, then you're going to select the installation folder. I recommend you leave it as default, click next, and then just let it install. It should be a quite fast and easy process. Honestly, installing Java is pretty straightforward. There's not much you can mess up with, so let's just wait for this to finish installing. And now that it has finished installing, we could go ahead and click close. Now let's go ahead and get rid of that installer. We don't need it anymore. Before you start installing Forge, you need to make sure you run Minecraft 1.19 at least once in your computer. So for that, just go ahead and open the Minecraft launcher and run Minecraft 1.19 at least once. And then once you have run Minecraft, go ahead and double click on Forge, and that is going to bring this little screen right here. First thing we want to do, install the client so we could have Forge ourselves. So just go ahead and click on OK and just let it install. This is installing the client side, is installing Forge for you and any of your friends that want to join your server later on are going to install Forge as a client first, okay? They don't need to run a server, they don't need to install Forge as a server, but they do need to install it as a client, or if not, they won't be able to join your Minecraft Forge server. Anyways, once you have installed the client, go ahead and click on OK, and now we're ready to install the server file. So go ahead and double click on this thing again one more time, and that is going to bring this up where we're going to click install server, and we're going to click on these 3 little dots in here, and we're going to select that folder that we had created earlier. So in my case, it's in the desktop. It's called modded server 1.19, as you can see right here. And I'm going to click open once I have that folder in there, right? So click on open, we have the folder selected, install server, click OK. And that is going to start installing a server inside that folder that we had created earlier. So let's go ahead and wait for this to finish installing. It might take longer for you, it might take less for you, depends on your computer and your internet speed really. So let's just wait for this to finish installing. And as we can see, it has finished installing. Let's go ahead and click on OK. And now we could open this folder that we had created earlier, where we should see these files right here. There we go. We have these files in here. Now, before you click run to start your server, go ahead and open this user GVM file. And in here, you're going to delete this hashtag right here. And you could change the amount of RAM for your server. Depending on the amount of mods that you're adding, you could change this 4, which is 4 gigabytes to 8 or maybe 16 if you have a lot of RAM on your computer. These all really depend to the amount of RAM that you have and the amount of mods that you're adding. If you want to know how much RAM do you have, go ahead and open your PC. So click over here on this PC, as you can see here on the left, and right click properties, and that is going to tell you how much RAM do you have. See, I have 32 RAM, 32 gigabytes, so I'm pretty much fine running 4 gigabytes. But if you have like 64 gigabytes and you want to run a 16 gigabyte server, 8 gigabytes, feel free. For most of you, I recommend you leave it as default. Anyways, once you have that, just go ahead and file, save, close this, and now we're ready to click on run. Go ahead and double click on run, and that is going to start running a server, but the server is not going to launch. It's going to stop right here, and it's going to say press any key to continue, and once you do, it's going to close. That is because you need to accept the ULA file. Go ahead and open that ULA file right here and change false to true, right? So we're going to change false to true, as you can see right there. ULA equals true. Click file, save, and now you can finally double click on run and let it run. Let it just start running. It's going to take a little bit longer now because it's going to start installing all the Forge files for the Forge server because it's finally launching up. Let's go ahead and wait for this to finish. And as we can see, it says initiated successfully, right? So successfully initiated. We have the spawn area completely finished, meaning that the server is online. I'm going to go ahead and type list. This is what I always do to check how many players are online. Obviously, there's none, but that lets me know that the server is on. Anyways, once it has finished, go ahead and type a stop. That is going to close your server safely and is going to end any operations in the background of your server. So no extra software stay open and your computer doesn't feel slow. Once we have done that, we're going to find something called server properties. So go ahead and look for server properties. In my case, it's right here, and you're going to right click it and you're going to click edit with or open with, and you're going to use nodes. Most of you are going to use nodes. I have Notepad++, but for you just open it with a notepad, regular notepad. In here, we're going to find something called server IPs. Just scroll down until you find server IP. Most of the times it's all the way to the bottom. As you can see, mine is line 46, almost at the end. Once we find server IP, we're going to add our local IP address. In order to find our local IP address, we're going to type on search and we're going to type command prompt, which is going to bring this up in here, and we're going to open the command prompt. In here, you're going to type ipconfig, just like this, ipconfig, press enter, and that is going to bring up the information about your local IP. In here, you're just looking for a simple line called IPv4 address. As you can see right here, it has some numbers at the end. You don't want any letters, you only want numbers. Go ahead and select those numbers just like this and press Ctrl C to copy those numbers. You could go ahead and close the command prompt already. We don't need the IPv4 address anymore, and we're going to type that or paste that into the server IP address. Ctrl V to paste, and as you can see, we have the server IP address right here. Go ahead and click on save right here on the top, and you can close the server properties right now. Now here's how to join your own server. Go ahead and run the server again. Click on run.bat. I'm going to go ahead and wait for the server to launch, and I'm going to open Minecraft to show you how to join your own game. Once our server is online, in order to join our own server, we're going to click on multiplayer. We're going to click add server, as you can see right here, and in our server address, we're going to put the same number that we put on our server properties. So you could just go ahead and find it in there, open your server properties again. That's what I do, and then just copy it from here. Ctrl C. We could close the server properties and paste it right here in server address. Ctrl V, click done, and as you can see, a server Minecraft has been added. The Minecraft server has been added, which is our server. If that doesn't work for any reason, you can try direct connection and type in localhost just like this, and that might work as well. You could type Ctrl V again and paste your number and try any of those through direct connection, and that might work. Now, how do you have your friends join your server? To have your friends join your server, you're going to need to port forward your server so your friends could join using your IP address. Look at this. I joined the server and it has X-Ray because I'm running X-Ray on my client side. If you want to learn how to install X-Ray, I have a video on that. Just go ahead and click on that. Anyways, how do we have our friends join our server? In order for your friends to join your server, you need to port forward your server, and port forwarding is a longer process, but I do have a video on that. So you you can go ahead and watch that video, which should be coming up right now, and you can learn how to port forward your server and have your friends join. Anyways, that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, bye bye.